Hey guys, welcome to part 3 of How to Draw Star-Lord. Click here if you missed part 1 or part 2. Now, let's get started. We're going to begin by adding in a dark shadow close to the outer edge on the back of his helmet. And you're going to go ahead and just darken it in using the side of your pencil. And then as you come towards the front, you're going to lighten it up. Now we're going to draw a little segmented section added down here on the side, the upper side of his helmet above his ear area. It's like 3 little squares, and make sure they conform to the side shape of the helmet. Going to have these they're just segmented sections of his helmet. We're going to give it more detail and darken the area up. And now in this front segmented piece, you want to darken, start at the back, and then come forward and just be lightened up a little bit more. It's like a gradation. And now we're going to bring that dark core shadow down, and once again, as we come towards the front, we're going to be even lighter. Make sure it's a gradual gradation in there. And then continue that same motif here on the middle section. Kind of make it dark in the back and lighter towards the front. And we're going to put in another core shadow right here next to his cheek area and darken it in, and then be lighter as we bring it out. Now moving to that outer frame around his eye area, we want to use the same kind of technique. Darker towards the back and make it lighter towards the front. And then on the upper visor part, we're going to go ahead and darken this on the corner and then lighten it up. And then for his like Wonder Woman crown area, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. Darken it on the side right here and then lighten it up. There we go. So the light source is going to be over here on the right side of the page right here. That's where the light source is coming from. And now for the general area around his the front of his mask, we're going to go ahead and just put in a regular even tone across the whole piece. I'm going to go in and kind of darken up certain areas that I want to be even more defined. And here we're going to put in a core shadow just right here on the side. And go ahead and kind of tweak the visor, some of the details. I tend to do this as I'm drawing. I kind of realize certain mistakes I made, and this is my opportunity to go in and try and correct them. And feel free to do the same thing on your own drawings. Now under his visor area, there's kind of a cast shadow under here. So this is the cast shadow that's just above his eyes that his visor casts down. And we kind of just flesh out more of this around the goggles and the frame of his goggles. And going to add in a circle here, a big one and a little one. And these will indicate the shines. So go ahead and darken in the outer part of that bigger shine. And now on the other eye, we're going to do the same thing. Make it a little bit smaller because it's away from us. And just darken that in there. And kind of lighten it up. We're going to come back in here later on and put some whiteout on these to make this piece really pop. So you don't have to sweat this too much. Just make sure that that eye is kind of, darkened in there, and it has some kind of gradient. So have the darkest part around the shine, and then as you go away from it, you're going to be kind of lighten up the pencil line. Next, we're going to go ahead and add in this kind of separation or additional segmented area around his nose, just above his breather vents on his helmet. And keep it simple. Make sure the center part of it falls on the vertical guideline that we indicated way back in video number 1. You want to make sure that the highest peak of this triangular section is right in the middle. Now we're going to go ahead and kind of draw this line going down on the letter M right here on the left side and on the right side. Extend 2 lines going down. And here's a trick I'm going to show you how to go ahead and give it the illusion that there is some kind of dimension to it. Use the side of your pencil and go ahead and put a gradient in there. And then do the same thing on the other side. And leaving the middle area kind of clear. And this will be more well defined and accentuated. In our next step, we're going to go ahead and kind of maybe like lighten it up. You just simply using your eraser, just lighten that up right there, or use a kneaded eraser, and that gives it the illusion that there is some depth and dimension to the breathers. Now moving down to the little cube shape or pyramid shaped area, this one's real easy. Just have it darker at the top, and as you come down you have it lighter, and then on the very front of it, darker at the top of that square and then lighten. Now for his tubes coming out, you want to put in a simple core shadow in the middle and then lighten it up as you go up. Keep the bottom blank. You can keep that one just lit. Keep it white. And for his rebreather, I'm turning my page here so I can put a core shadow in on the side, and then as I go away from it, I lighten it up. Just keep it gradual. Just lighten your pencil up. And that's all you have to do to it. Nothing complex, nothing hard here. All of this is giving the illusion that his mask is metal. It's the way the chrome and the metallic surfaces reflect the light. And repeat that same motif and that process going down here on the side with the metal tubing going on the side, going up to his ear area. And we're going to put a core shadow here again on the outer part of his ear. Go hard, and then you come light. And nothing too difficult. Just kind of remember this. It's nothing very hard. Just kind of keep the back side very lightened. But you do want that core shadow in the middle of the most, I guess, prominent features on his mask, because you want that. That gives the illusion that this is a metallic and reflective surface. And I'm going to kind of clean this up at the top part of his helmet up here and kind of just make it look more neat. And now on the side of his cheek area, we're going to go ahead and kind of do the same thing. Have it darken towards the back. And I'm going to add in a second line here just to give it more detail. And kind of just do the same thing. Darker in the back, lighter in the front. And Star-Lord's mask, it's been drawn many different ways, but I use reference from the film and from the comic books to kind of get a simplified way for you guys to draw it. You don't have to draw all the fancy details in it. Just get the most important aspects of his helmet, and it will look like Star-Lord. People will believe it. So I just want to create a simplified version for you guys. And for these little 3 small cylinders, or capsule areas right here, we want to put some kind of like hard shadow right behind them, and then gradually come out lighter and lighter. And that will give us some kind of like more depth and dimension in his mask. Now I'm going to kind of erase my guidelines inside those pieces. I want to draw it here again to make sure things are straight, and just come on out. And then kind of just go back in, erase them. And it's back and forth. That's what your art's going to be. It's be back and forth, back and forth. And I'm going to just darken in and refine some of the lines. You don't have to be perfect, but you do want things to kind of generally line up. And the more you have light, areas up against dark areas, like for example, I'm doing on his other rebreather cylinder on the other side, we have the core shadow, but we have the right next to it, it's very light on the other side of it. Now to make things pop off the page even more, you can add a dark outline to the drawing or to his helmet itself. And now I'm going to go back up to his crown area and kind of just erase out a highlight in there, and then make the side of it very dark. Just remember that. Just put a highlight somewhere and just put a dark core shadow right next to it. And that'll help give the illusion that this is a shiny surface. And there we go, darken under his visor there. And now we're going to move up to his hair. His hair, you want to go ahead and just start putting these little, like, flame, fire looking, sketchy lines. And you want to duplicate that going towards the top area, because in between these two flame lines will be the highlight, or the lightest part of his hair where the light hits it. And I'll show you how we can add that in later. So going at the bottom, you want to go ahead and darken this in, because that's where his roots are, and that's the darkest area. And just make sure a few of these lines make their way up in between that highlighted area. It won't be a straight shine in there unless that's your style of drawing. But you can also go ahead and just continue to add pencil lines up top. And notice how I'm keeping the front of each major, body of hair light, because that's where the light hits it. I'm going to add a shadow behind it, each one. And this gives it more depth and more body, makes it look full. And I'm going to tweak his little strands of hair out here just a little bit more. Kind of erase that one, just keep it more simplified and small. That'll make it more believable. And then just kind of tweak more and make that highlight more defined. You don't have to put this in your drawing. I just want to give Star-Lord, the best possible rendering right now. And just to show you guys how you can render your characters. Now we're going to step back, take a look at it, and hopping down to his neck area, I'm going to quickly just throw in some shadow within his collar, some shadows under his neck, his front collar. Just quickly sketch that in, nothing too detailed. And we're going to continue that here on the side outer collar portion, and darker towards the back. And I'm going to erase these sketchy lines right here where the collar meets the shoulder, and just go ahead and just darken that in. Quickly sketch out some more lines on the side, and we have his shoulder strap for his bag or whatever. Now we're going to add some white out, and I'm going to be using my Uniball Signo white gel pen. But before we use it, you want to make sure you test it out and make sure that the white ink is flowing. So starting out, we're going to put a shine on the upper part of his goggle area, and the white shine, or shines plural, that we had in his lens. And on the other eye, the same thing, on the outer rim and then on the glass itself. And now we're going to add a shine going across that beveled section around his nose. And next we want to go ahead and put shines just above one of each of the vents that we have here. And now we're going to go ahead and add some on the tubes on the side of his helmet there. Put one just above the segmented areas, just above where the separation is. And then one on each of those little small caplets. And quickly just sketch one or a few lines here on his sash, and then on the upper part of his helmet right there. And these are just the core white highlights. You can use as little of this as necessary, but you don't want to use as much as you want. You don't want to get overboard with it, because it will make the drawing look like there's just a bunch of white marks over it. You want to use it sparingly. Just put it in the most important parts. But since he has a metallic, mask on, then the opportunity there is greater to use more of it. He's kind of like Iron Man. You can get away with a lot of it, but don't overdo it. And we have some on his crown up here, just to highlight certain areas. And get the side of his helmet. Now moving to the Presto Jumbo Correction Pen. We're going to go ahead and use that because it's a big blotchy area that we want to cover on his hair. And that will kind of like quickly put in a lot of those highlights that we wanted earlier. And I'm going to throw in a background here. Just keep it diagonal and kind of interesting. So he's just not on white plain background. Give him something to kind of stand off against. And I'm going to quickly throw in some white streaks with my jumbo correction pen. And that should be looking good enough. Now I want to add in, I forgot the long white shine that I want to put back on the rebreather area, and then correct that by extending the dark black line on it. And just small details that you want to kind of pay attention to. And that just about does it. That's Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy. Thanks for watching. And if you're still having a hard time coming up with your own superhero body, then click the link below in the description and get my free superhero mini course. Get started right now. Don't wait.